Hey guys, XJ here. So today we're going to compare all three of these units, the T300, the G29, and the T150, in order to allow you, hopefully, to make the best purchase decision when it comes to which unit is best for you. Now, there are other units out there to compare, obviously. The rules for this one were a complete set, i.e. wheel and pedal set included in the box, and also below $500. We're going to talk about these in 5 different categories. So let's get started. So we're going to talk about these in 5 categories. Construction and materials, the force feedback, steering wheel, the pedal set, and then, in my opinion, which one's the best value? Construction and materials. So essentially, all 3 of these are very close in this category. The weakest one is the Thrustmaster T150, and mainly that's based upon its steering wheel. It's essentially plastic with some rubber where you can hold onto the steering wheel. When it comes to the T300, the steering wheel is also rubber, but it's a lot better material. It does go all the way around the wheel, and it's also a little thicker as far as in its diameter when you hold it in your hands. When it comes to the G29 though, it's leather, and it has a really nice feel to it also. So construction, when it comes to out of all 3 of these units, the G29 is going to come out on top. The T300 will come in next, and then the T150 is last. As far as the actual units, they are plastic for the most part, as far as in their construction. Where the G29 comes out on top again would be the pedal set. Because even though the base for all 3 of these is made out of plastic, the G29, the actual pedal surface is metal, and the actual frame that it is resting upon is metal. So they have a metal construction when it comes to the pedals. When it comes to the T300, it's just the surface face, and the T150, it's all plastic. So next, let's talk about the steering wheel, since we've already hit on it a little bit. Again, the G29 is going to come out on top, and this is mainly because it offers a leather steering wheel. It has a really great feel in your hands, or if you're wearing gloves. Next up would be the T300, because I do really like how the rubber feels on the complete diameter of this wheel. It does have a really great feel to it also, but the leather kind of trumps that, to say the least. The T150, the rubber feels fine where you will place your hands on the steering wheel to actually use it, but that's as far as you're going to get. The remainder of the wheel is very plastic. It's also a little smaller in diameter too, which kind of makes it a little thin in the hand. But along with the steering wheel, we've got to talk about the button set that each of these offer. For the most part, they're pretty similar, but the G29 is going to come out on top again because it does have a few more options as far as for buttons, which allow you to program things like your brake bias or the radio button or whatever it may be inside of your sim in order to make those on-the-fly adjustments and use them while you are driving. The T300 has plenty to offer also in that category. But again, G29 comes out on top because it has more buttons that you can use as far as when you're actually using the wheel. Another thing, the paddle shifters. For the most part, all 3 of these are very close. They're all metal in this category. They all have a nice click to them. But to be honest with you, the T300 has the nicest click as far as in the hands. Again, that's just a personal preference, but as far as clicks go, this one is the nicest. Next up, let's talk about the pedal set. And you'll notice that this box is still on top. And that would be because the G29 has the best pedal set, hands down, out of all 3 of these units. Now this is one thing that Logitech has really knocked out of the park for their baseline offering. This clutch, brake, accelerator pedal set is tremendous. And the brake really feels great. It's progressive. And so that means the more pressure that you put on the brake, the stiffer that it becomes. It is a very nice wheel for the pedal set for the money and what you can get. And you can get some mods on the market also for this pedal set to beef up that brake, the springs as far as inside the clutch, the accelerator, or the brake too. So there's some options out there when it comes to modifying this pedal and brake set. Again, it has a large base as far as you can see on here. 3 pedals that are included. It does stick well as far as on the floor that you're going to use them, or if you use them in a sim rig, you can mount it there. When it comes to the T300 and the T150, the T300 and the T150 both offer plastic base pedal sets. And for the bass line, it's only 2. You've got a brake and accelerator. You've also got a brake and an accelerator as far as pedal offerings. It is a complete plastic unit with the T150. With the T300, the pedal surfaces are actually metal, but that's it. The rest of it is a plastic surface. They're rather light. They do stay in place, especially if you've got carpet, but they are much lighter than the G29 unit as far as the pedal set itself. There is a slight progressive brake on the T300, but nothing like compared to the G29. And the T150, they're just weak, guys, just bottom line. It is a weak pedal set. The weakest thing about the Thrustmaster line on the baseline offerings is the pedal set. You can't say anything else about it. It's the pedal set that holds back the Thrustmaster so much. And this is where the Logitech G29 really outshines these 2 units. Next, let's talk about force feedback. And you'll notice that the T300 is on top now. And that is because, hands down, this one outshines both of these units without comparison for the price point. This is smooth. This is brushless motor belt driven completely. It's also got the Hall sensors inside of the unit. It is strong, much stronger than either one of these, and produces all the responsiveness that you would need to feel inside of your sim. Okay? So the T300, hands down, beats out the G29 and the T150. Now, let's talk about the 150 and the G29. The G29 uses all gears. The T150 uses gears and a belt as far as for its force feedback. As a result, I would tell you that second in this is the T150. T150's force feedback is better than the G29's. It's not that this is weak or terrible. It's not. The G29 is great too, but it is notchy with the gears. You can feel it inside of the wheel a little bit when you're turning. It may or may not bother you, but you're going to feel it more than the T150. And finally, the best value. As you can see again, the G29 Logitech's on top. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I say this is the best value out of all 3. 1, the pedal set. The pedal set is just much better than these other 2 models by Thrustmaster. Second, the leather wrapped steering wheel. Okay, it does feel really good in the hands. The one thing where it starts to get on a slippery slope is the force feedback is not as good as the T350 or the T150. Excuse me, the T300 or the T150. But for overall and what it offers and for the dollars, the G29, you just can't miss with it. Now, the T300, if you could upgrade the pedal set, then I would tell you to immediately go with the T300, because this is going to be your probably next step anyway as far as in the force feedback in the steering wheel in and of itself. Another thing about the T300, it's interchangeable steering wheels. Okay, there's no offering for that in the G29 or the T150. So in the T300, you can interchange it with an F1 style wheel. I think there's a Ferrari wheel offering from Logitech. It will start to allow you to expand your system a little bit. So if you've got the extra money and can go ahead and get a nicer pedal set, then go with the T300. I strongly recommend the T300. I raced this one for a while, and I really like this wheel. It's a great wheel. One final thought. If you can put pieces of this system together, maybe through eBay or some other used market where you're getting gear that people are selling, if you can get, if it's entry level, if you can get a T150 wheel and a set of Logitech pedals, that would be a great starter set. Even better than that, you can get a T300 and a set of Logitech wheel pedals. that would be a great starter set. At the end of the day, guys, you can't go wrong with any of these three sets. They're going to deliver you force feedback inside your game sim and deliver a great racing experience. It's just the G29 really trumps these as far as in this price point and category, unless you can get an upgraded pedal set, better pedal set with the T300, then this is your wheel of choice. Hands down, purchase this one. I hope this video helped you in making your purchase decision. If you have any other questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching. If this video did help you, please consider hitting that thumbs up button below. If you'd like to see more content, hit the subscribe button and the little bell notification. That way you're notified anytime I upload additional content. You can also find quick 5-minute reviews on each of these units individually on my site. Thanks for watching.